Okay, you don't gotta answer this question, but I'm going to ask. When was the last time you was intimate with a woman?
Dude, probably about this afternoon.
You had sex to
That nigga said, probably about this afternoon, about 2 hours ago. Man, a nigga will fuck you and then get on a platform in front of thousands of people looking for pussy. A nigga will come in your mouth and skeet down your throat and then get on a platform in front of thousands of women looking for pussy. A nigga will drop his seed in your womb and then get on a platform in front of thousands of people looking for pussy just hours later. And you know he ain't washed his face. And you know he ain't used no condom.
today?
Yeah.
Who'd you have sex with today?
I mean, how do I answer that? You know,
Well, I mean, is this person
Nigga
a
with
person you're
words,
dating? Is
bitch.
she one someone you can take serious?
mm,
Why'd you have sex with her then?
I mean, the opposites attracted, and we both mature, we both grown.
Why is she not an option?
He said, we fucking, first of all, she 25, I'm 41. What else we gonna do but fuck? Because what else could he possibly have in common with a woman who's 25 years old besides sex? Because what was he doing when he was 25 that he could talk to her about? He didn't play tennis. He wasn't working on his golf score. He wasn't working on anything to get him to the next level. He wasn't experimenting with any investments or putting stairs on the back of his house or raising a dog at 25 years old. He wasn't preparing to hike a mountain or taking a trip or fucking bitches that didn't work at the prison at 25 years old. He wasn't in love and his heart broken or his daddy died or he lost a job or failed at a business at 25 years old. He hadn't visited any new museums or seen any movies that weren't shown in prison at 25 years old. So what else could he have in common with this woman but to fuck her? And that's why he wants a woman between 34 and 38, because that's when he got out and that's what he can relate to. He don't want a woman his age because her experience is different. These last 5 years have been different for her and the last 18 years before that. So you can't be too young and you can't be too old because he can't relate. But he didn't miss out on nothing in prison because he had Benny Hannas on the regular.
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but at the same time, I don't just know this person all the way like that.
Then why'd you have sex with them if you don't know them like that?
I'd have to have sex with a person just cause you know what I'm saying. Just cause you know what I'm saying. I don't have to know a person through and through to have sex with them.
But you made these women in prison feel like you were a nigga. Y'all talked, you gave them attention, you probably consoled them when they came talking about their kids and the shit they was going through at work with their coworkers and them white people. You gave them a comfortable place to fall so they could fuck you and bring you Benny Hannas and whatever else your mama's cooking. My son, listen, I bless God I don't have a son. I prayed not to have one. But if my child goes to prison for murder and I know they murdered that person, I ain't making no meals. I'm sorry. Unless that murder was just. Because I get down with some just murder. I'm about that. I'm a just murdering type of bitch. But if it's just on some bullshit like what Remy Ma almost got herself into when she shot that girl in the stomach over $12,000 or some shit, you gonna have to eat some ramen noodles. Now I put some money on your books, but I ain't about to be making you no meals and having your lover come to my house. Nigga, fuck that. But listen, he
You
can't
meet
date
somebody
somebody.
and they, y'all fully attracted to each other. And I'm knowing that. I mean, she 25. I'm 41. We can't do number have sex.
That's it.
Do you want a relationship,
Cause he ain't got nothing.
That's all.
He has nothing to contribute to a 25-year-old. He can't even be her sugar daddy. The best thing about having a sugar daddy is having an older man who can kind of give you wisdom, spit game, on some different shit. And he can't even do that. Man, I'm telling you, you can learn a lot from an older man if he's lived outside of prison. He said he wants
Yes,
somebody
I do.
compatible.
You do want one. That is your goal.
Yeah,
Why do you think you're
He wants a
single?
relationship. Why
because
do you think you're single?
mentally, I'm not prepared yet.
Are you in therapy for all that?
He said he came out here looking for a relationship, but he's single because mentally he's not prepared yet. Excuse me. I would say that I owe him an apology. Excuse me. And that he's not delusional. He's he's got it. He knows. And he's literally saying like in all the words, and I hope women are listening, he ain't looking for no relationship. He's just looking for some more pussy to spread disease to. I don't know whose bed that is he's sitting on because it's definitely not his. Um, he's not looking to build anything with anybody or connect with anybody. Wow. I hope they hear it. I hope they hear it. Heard it.
You went through?
I have been in therapy, but right now I'm not. But I occasionally go back and forth. But
You should go back. You should put it to your schedule weekly.
yeah, I mean, I really do. I really believe that because prison it messes you up psychologically. Especially after,
Absolutely.
I
Um,
mean, we got
But he wants a woman who's got her shit together mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, pussily. He wants that woman to have her shit together and want to have two more babies. But he cannot provide her with any emotional stability or support. He might possibly be able to provide with her financially, but he ain't got shit to show for being. And he's on this platform saying what he want with that foggy fucking camera. That don't make no goddamn sense to me. How dare he even open his mouth? Just go to therapy. That's all you should do right now. Sometimes you gotta sit the fuck down. Yeah,
communication problems. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if a lot of people that did time would tell y'all that, but we got watch my show.
Listen, communication problems ain't got shit to do with prisoners. We always got an excuse. It's either Goomba got PTSD or Jaguar Wright got bipolar. No, sometimes you just got bad character. And sometimes you just need to go to therapy. Because it's not a mental illness, it's an emotional illness. There's a difference. And they're expressed differently. This particular situation we're looking at here is probably a guy who would be that way anyway. If he says that there's no difference from prison to the outside world except automobiles, then he would have been that way anyway. He would have got 5 different women pregnant that he didn't commit to anyway. He would have been in a relationship with a woman and didn't take responsibility for the fact that he couldn't communicate with her and keep her happy, so she cheated. And they broke up anyway. He'd be fucking a 25-year-old right now that he can't offer anything to. Anyway, ain't got shit to do with prison. That's a crutch and that's an excuse. Virgos don't communicate well. They
We
ghost.
have to communicate. Hard for us to communicate because for 18 years, sitting on our wreck, suppressing everything we possibly go through. So then we get out here, we meet a helper, and y'all want to help us, but whole time we don't know how to just come out and tell you. So y'all egg us on to tell you what we going through,
It's a
and it
million men that
messes
can
up
say the
mentally
same thing
because
about a whole
we
different
feel,
other
it's
situation.
pressure bust pipes.
Pressure makes
Well, since you're
diamonds
saying
too.
that, give us the Kendra cam. The Kendra cam is when we see your full body.
All right.
Well, you gotta put the phone down. Maybe put the phone down, then walk behind backwards.
That poor man. He did a tutorial in using his phone.
Okay.
Whose bed is it?
We can see you. Okay. De Niro, why would a woman be lucky to be with you?
Why would a woman be lucky to be with you, De
I'm
Niro?
that nigga.
Because he's that nigga.
I'm a rare oddity for real.
He's an oddity for real.
That's it? Just because you're that nigga?
That's
I
why
mean, I'm a rare oddity. I know what I
I'm a
bring to the
rare
table.
oddity. I know what I bring to the
Well, we
table. I
understand.
can't articulate it, but I know it. I mean, I done already told you that I got emotional problems. I don't communicate well. You know, I don't need to know you to fuck you. I don't need to know you through and through, obviously. So if I act like I'm getting to know you, it's not because I really want to. But I'm a rare oddity through every other that nigga. You love that nigga. You YNB that nigga. You FNB that nigga. Hey, that nigga. You that nigga. You that nigga. You every other nigga. And until you realize that you ain't that special, you just as sick as every other nigga.
And that you're rare, and we won't disagree there. But in what ways
And until as women we realize that he's not, that prison thing can be appealing to some women because he come from somewhere. He got a story. He done been through something. He put himself there. And he was dumb enough to get caught.
are you rare that makes you that nigga?
I'm very understanding. Very understanding.
But he
I
can't
mean,
communicate.
I think the table's turned too. I can cook. I can bake from scratch with the proper consistency.
I'm so tickled. He said I can bake and cook with the proper consistency. Now only that nigga can do that because I sure can't. I am not a baker. Baby. No siree. I can't bake shit. And I would love a man in my life that bake, but then you gotta go home after you finish making your shit. Thank you. Her show gave me all the confirmation I need to say. Go, listen, that ain't shit out here. Listen, and I've been married before, and that wasn't shit either. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, that wasn't shit. This ain't shit. That ain't shit. My life is the shit. I feel like I finally understand that the peace that comes with solitude. OMG, the lack of codependency that's necessary. OM motherfucking OM goddamn G. The peace. The peace. The peace. The peace that comes with having a standard that's high enough to realize that until you have what you want, you don't need what you have, baby. And you don't want it either. So let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You feel me? Just let it flow. When you realize that romance is a novelty and that most of it ain't shit because we try to make something a way of life that isn't. Most men don't want to be married. This man is speaking honestly. Most men don't want shit to do with a relationship. They just want to fuck. They'll have enough conversation with you to get some pussy. I think the bandwidth for most men is about 30 minutes. And that's no shade. That's just what it is. And so when you come to that understanding and you get peace with the fact that we've been taught to want something, we've been conditioned to long for and desire something that we may not need. Not all of us. I know I sure don't. Long as it's a dealership I could take my car to, and a AAA card and a step stool, and I can make money. Ish. Listen, one day we'll get into the shit for real. You listen. I tell my friends who are in relationships, I'm so happy you got what you want. But I tell you what I know I'm gonna get every night that you may not get, no matter how hard you try. Listen, and then I could just roll over and go to sleep.
I do the yard. I do the folding clothes, washing the dishes, dry the dishes.
It's a nigga to do all of that. I could hire a nigga to do all of
I clean
that.
the tub. I mean, I do everything. I don't
He
wait
could
for
clean
things
the
to get done.
tub. He could clean the tub. Now, I did have a nigga that didn't know how to clean the tub. Excuse me. That nigga made so many figures, but he did not know how to clean a tub. But that's why we hire
I mean,
somebody.
I don't wait for things to be able. I do them because they need to be done. That's a pet peeve with me. I'm not OCD, but
He can't communicate with you well, but he's that nigga. He will talk to you long enough to get into your drawers and to get a plate, but he can mow the yard. I mowed the yard. I actually enjoy mowing my own yard and putting on my Malcolm X and listening to speeches about white people.